Welcome back to the channel. It's our Jazz. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Pop the Balloon or Find Love Season 2 reunion with Arlette. If you guys are interested, go ahead on and stay tuned for this video. Jumping right into the video, I want to say that I think that they did a really good job. I think that everyone looked really nice. So big ups to you guys on that. First person I want to talk about on the show is Mr. James Gourmet Pies. Now, when I first watched his episode, I was a little annoyed because he kept saying that every time they went to him. And they actually did a recap on the show where they showed how many times he said that. And it was way too many to count. But looking back on it, I respect it. I may not like it, but I respect the fact that he took the time to market his business, and it seems to be successful. People are supporting it. Now moving right along to my girl Dreva. So Dreva was on the show and she got a lot of flack because people were upset because they were saying that she was not being transparent about her age, and every time the age question came up, she didn't want to answer. But then they showed a clip of her constantly asking the guys how old they were. So they're like, what's with this? Now she went on to try to explain it, to say due to her job, the type of work that she do, she don't really want to disclose her age. But of course, everybody's feedback on the show pretty much was like, girl, you should have just went on and gave your age, because why even come on the show if that is something that you didn't want to do? Now, Miss Zola, I do not believe that she was appropriate for the show, because watching her, it seemed like she lacked a lot of self-confidence. She's a stripper, and I think because of what she do, she felt like the guys will already have a preconceived notion of her, and she was just popping a balloon, baby. She's like, oh, because I thought you were going to say this, and oh, I thought you were going to say that. And some of the guys even said that was that they disagreed, and they like, oh, you thought I was going to say that, but I actually didn't say that. So it just seems to me like, girl, you need to do some healing. You need to work on yourself, because it just didn't seem like she was ready for the show. Don't say she was a good fit for the show. And, do your healing, do your soul searching, find yourself, confidence, all of that. And then when you're in a place where you're confident and comfortable with yourself in your own skin, then you can start looking for a partner. But you have a lot of work within yourself that you got to do first. So yeah, that segment for me, I was like, why is she here? Now moving along to Mr. Braylon. Mr. Braylon, I feel like he was just straight trying to go viral. He wants to be a comedian, an actor, honey, because he was on there. Because even when I'm watching the show, I'm like, okay, he can't do it too much. Some people just kind of stand out. And when I was watching this episode, I was like, he is doing the most. With his comments he was making, I'm like, he's trying to go viral. And he pretty much confirmed that on the reunion. And I was like, okay, I picked up on that. So I was a little right. So Arlette, she asked Braylon, why did he stomp on the balloon? And so Brian chimes in and basically calls Braylon a clown. So Brian and Braylon, they're going back and forth, making comments about each other. Braylon, he's talking about Brian's age, calling him 50. So they're going just back and forth. And I found it cute. I found it funny, entertaining, their little exchange. But later on in the show, you kind of see that I guess they find some sort of common ground, because it does seem like they share in a lot of the same opinions. And I think once Braylon started to hear Brian now, he's like, okay, we kind of agree with a lot of things he have to say. He's like, I still got some jokes for you. But they seem to kind of balance out a little bit as the show progressed. And I think a big difference for me that I see between Braylon and Brian is I think that Brian seems to come across as more authentic. While I don't agree with everything he says or everything he does, I do think that he comes across more authentic. And Braylon, to me, just seemed like he's trying to put on. He seems like one of those type of people that would say things to get underneath your skin. And we all know people like that would just say things and do things that just really grinds your gears. And a lot of times people like that, you have to ignore them and just not even let them know that they really get into you like that. So jumping around a little bit, I want to touch base on Mike and Kay. they actually matched on the show and they got engaged on their follow-up episode. Their relationship actually gives me hope for these type of shows, because mainly for me, when I first started watching the Pop the Balloon shows, and everybody's doing it now, but when I first started watching the show, I thought that, it was entertaining. That was the main thing I found from the show. I was like, these people are not really on here trying to find love. These people just having fun. They're trying to boost their social media following. They're not really taking it seriously. And that is the case for some people. But like I said, with Mike and Kay's situation, it really seems like they came on the show with the right intentions to find love, to find a match. And we're happy for them. Everything seemed to be going well. They're planning to get married next year. So big ups to them. So in Ryan's segment of the show, he discusses his viewpoints on dating a woman that have multiple baby daddies. He just so happened to be sitting beside a lady that has 3 kids, 3 baby daddies. So they were having a conversation about the situation, and it was interesting to hear both viewpoints, both sides of the spectrum of everything. And a lot of the guys were saying that when it comes to a woman having multiple children, multiple baby fathers, that it shows them that she has poor decision-making skills, which I can understand that point. I can understand that perspective. But a lot of ladies, they were saying, well, this is something that I did earlier, when I was younger, and I have learned and I have grown from that. But is it enough? The last person I want to touch base on the reunion is Dorian. So I actually did a video on her. It's my video before this one. So you guys, after you finish this video, go and check it out, as well as all the other videos on my channel, and just continue to support the channel. Miss Dorian. So the main thing on her episode was a lot of the guys felt like she was being aggressive. That term was used. And they also said that she was drunk. And I pointed out in my last video that I didn't like when Dorian made the statement that she got drunk in the back. And one of the other ladies on the show, they said the same thing. They was like, girl, when you said that, that's when they had you. It was over from there. And she agreed. She's like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. She's like, I really wasn't drunk, which we don't really know if that's true or not. But that's what she's saying. And I just think that she wasn't a good match for the guys that were on the show. And for some men, Dorian is going to be too much. Her personality, she's outspoken. It's going to be too much for some men. And then other guys may find it attractive. And Dorian is definitely one of those type of people where you either love her or hate her. There's really no in between. So this is the end of my review. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.